trying out Reese's tag today because I think it's such a fun video to be doing, and I'm in that sort of fun type of mood. I've got a really big weekend coming up, so I thought we'd do this today because I am in the mood. Thank you, Reese Does Makeup, for coming up with this absolutely ingenious concept. I will link Reese's original video at the top of the description box. Definitely go and check that out because it is super fun. I think the reason I love this concept so much is because the products that I'm going to be talking about in this video aren't necessarily the products that are my go-to everyday products, but boy, every single time I wear these, I get compliments left, right, and center. So we're going to be talking about all of those most complimented products in this video today. So yeah, let's get on with it. Let's talk about fragrance first. These are my most worn, most complimented fragrances, my signature fragrances. I can't call the second one a signature fragrance because I nicked it from somebody else, but this first one most definitely is. This is rather pricey, so I'm just going to mention it fleetingly. It's by Kilian, and it is Woman in Gold. It is a refreshing yet deep and punchy rosy fragrance. I love everything about it. I have been stopped in shops with this. I have been stopped in the street with this. People, when they hug me, they cannot help themselves but say, I smell absolutely beautiful. What have you got on? It's this one. I would say this is my signature fragrance. This is the one that I wear the most frequently, and I love it. I mean, it is just everything I want in a fragrance. However, I couldn't help myself. I went to a football match with B, and somebody around me, even though we were in the open air, smelled absolutely divine. And I just said, who smells good? Please tell me who smells good. And one of my friends, Laura, stepped up and said, I think it's me. And she was going, I said, you don't need to do that. I can smell it from here and it smells gorgeous. Now this is more affordable, and I went straight out and bought this from Zara. This is Fashionably London, and it is gorgeous. If you like people to smell you before you walk in a room, this is it. This is it. I mean, it is strong and yet doesn't blow your head off strong. So it's not one of these fragrances that gives me a headache, and lots of fragrances do. It's that lovely, sweet, sherbety, yet deep, rosy type fragrance. I'll put the notes upon the screen for you now. I can't really describe it other than say it is deep and punchy and just expensive smelling, very expensive smelling. So like I said, I asked Laura what she was wearing. She'd asked somebody else what they were wearing, and because of that, she'd gone out and bought this fragrance. After me buying this fragrance, somebody else asked me what I was wearing, and they went out and bought this fragrance. So I can't see this being on the shelves for very long. It's like a snowball effect. Once you smell it, you can't go back. So yeah, Fashionably London in Zara. I think it cost me 25 quid, which, you know, in comparison, these two don't smell anything like each other, by the way, but they are both beautiful fragrances in their own right. This one is just, you know, a lot more affordable than the by Kilian. So I've never actually been stopped in the street for this next product. However, I have been asked at the checkout in Asda what I have on my eyes. I've also been stopped in the dentist waiting area, and it's also a heavily asked question in the comment section on YouTube every single time I wear this eyeshadow, and it is always the same one from Victoria Beckham. This is the Victoria Beckham eye wardrobe in the shade Olive. This is the most beautiful palette with the most gorgeous tones in there that shift from gold to green depending on what light you're in, and I think that's why it's my most complimented palette, because it's super, super special. Still on the neutral spectrum, but it's slightly more special than your bog standard browns, taupes, greys. You can wear this in the daytime, you can zhuzh this up for an evening look. I use the deep green as a liner, and I think it really brings out the brown in my eyes. I wear this one all over the lid, absolutely glorious. This is the one that tends to shift from gold to green depending on what light I'm in. I use this one on the outer corner and this one all in the crease, and yeah, I use every single shade in this palette. I know there's only 4 in there, but I just think it's a really well thought out palette. They're creamy, they're soft, they're easy to blend, and I mean, just look. Gorgeous. Let's talk bronzers. My most used bronzer, and probably my favorite bronzer of the moment, is from Dior Forever, and this is the nude bronze in the shade 03. It's a matte bronzer. I just think it goes so well with my complexion. It just blends into my skin tone. It looks incredibly natural. However, this is not my most complimented bronzer. The one from Giorgio Armani this is the Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder in the shade 90. And every time I wear this, I get masses of compliments. You look so well. Where have you been on holiday? Your skin just looks so bronzy and glowy. This has got some luminescence to it. Definitely has some radiance in there, which is probably why I don't gravitate towards it more often, because I prefer something slightly more of a natural matte than something with a bit of shine to it. My skin gets very shiny throughout the day anyway, so I try and steer away from products like this, but actually this is my most complimented bronzer. Although it does have some radiance in here, it doesn't look sparkly on my skin. It definitely does look radiant though, and give my skin a little bit more life. So if I am wearing more of a mattifying foundation throughout the day, this is the bronzer that I will pick up, and yeah, every time I do. Compliments. All the time, compliments. My most complimented blush is also not my ultimate favorite blush. I get compliments from family members when I wear this, and when I was applying it today, because I do have it on my cheeks today, I paid more attention to how it laid down, how it blended out, the overall finish on the surface of the skin, and I just thought to myself, there's no wonder I get compliments about this blush, because it's absolutely divine. And why on earth do I not wear this more often? I have no idea why it is not in my top drawer. Look, just gorgeous. This is from MAC and it is called Sunbask. This is the Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush and it is absolutely beautiful. It does have a little bit of sparkle in there, but it is minute. It gives you radiance without you looking really shiny, glittery. So if you are not a glitter person, if you are not a highlighter person like me, go and try this out, because I feel exactly the same and I absolutely love this. It just lifts, it sculpts, it highlights the cheekbone without highlighting anything underneath that you do not want to be highlighting, like any large pores, any skin texture, of which I have plenty, but you would not know. I love it. The shade is more of a bronzer than a blush, which I really, really like. Teamed with the Giorgio Armani bronzer, I mean, wow, a match made in heaven. While we're talking about large pores and skin texture, I'm going to share with you my most complimented base. Now, this is 3 products. I can't mention one of them without mentioning the other 2 because they work simultaneously together to create the most airbrushed, beautiful, smooth looking skin. And I went out on a bottomless brunch a couple of weeks ago with the girls. We had a great time. The amount of compliments that I got throughout the day, not just from my party, but also from strangers that I'd never met, commenting on my skin. It just made me feel so amazing. I knew it was the makeup. Knew it wasn't actually my skin, but this base never lets me down. Smoothing, airbrushing, just gorgeous. First up, the foundation. This is the Louboutin foundation. I actually put this down for quite a considerable amount of time while I was testing out other foundations and really liked those other foundations, but I'm so glad I reverted back to this because this is the most smoothing airbrushing foundation and it's so long wearing as well. Again, never lets me down, and I get so many compliments about this when I have it on my skin. You can build this up from anything to light medium coverage all the way up to full coverage. I prefer to just apply a very light layer of this. It gets a very soft matte finish, so it's very, very smoothing. And you can just see a little bit of my skin poking through. If I have any imperfections, I just layer a tiny bit more over the top and my skin is just flawless. Absolutely flawless. Now, I don't just wear this if I'm going out on a full day out and want my makeup to stay looking airbrushed all day. I do team it with the Laura Mercier Translucent Ultra Blur press powder. This goes in my handbag with me everywhere. It has traveled to so many different places. I have hit pan. I do need to get another one. But again, this is very smoothing, very blurring, and it mattifies like no other powder that I have ever tried. And not that matte that looks flat. It still looks like skin. It doesn't look powdery on the surface. If you are worried about that though, this alleviates all powdery residue. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's the One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. This is mattifying, it is smoothing, it is airbrushing, and it makes your makeup last so long. I mean, I've never really timed how long it lasts for, but I know it lasts an incredibly long amount of time and stays perfect for a really long amount of time, regardless of what you're doing. I wore a white shirt the other day. None of my makeup transferred onto my white shirt. Honestly, I think that somebody would be able to hit me in the face with a shovel and I wouldn't feel it when I have this on. It is bullet proof. And I've had colds when I've been wearing this. I've been blowing my nose. Nothing has come off. Nothing has transferred onto my tissue, which is a real pet peeve of mine when you've got absolutely perfect, flawless makeup and you have to blow your nose or wipe your nose and then, you know, the whole look is ruined. Not when I have this on. So these 3 products are the ones for my base that I use when my skin is most complimented, and I take that as the biggest compliment because they don't come up to me and say your makeup is flawless, your makeup looks super airbrushed. They say my skin looks beautiful, and that is testament to these 3 products. And finally, let's talk lips. I've been asked about this so many times recently, people wanting to go out and buy whatever I have on my lips, and it's always the Charlotte Tilbury, what do you call these again? The Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Contour Duo. Now, funnily enough, my favorite of the Contour Duo is the medium shade, which is more neutral brown, which I have on today because it's my favorite. The one that I actually get complimented on the most is the Fair, which is slightly pinkier, and I actually haven't shown this on camera yet, so let's just take this off now and I'll show you what the pink looks like. Look at that. So that's just the lip liner in Fair. So the darker shade of Fair around the border, the lighter shade of Fair in the center to just contour and make my lips look a little bigger. And then we've got the Big Lip Plumpgasm, just a little bit in that center. I did a full video on my favorite lip combo. I will link it up here for you if you haven't seen that already. But yeah, these are my most complimented lipsticks. So that's it for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed filming it for you. Once again, thank you to Risa Does Makeup for coming up with this concept. Don't forget to check out her original video in the description box. What are your most complimented products? Did they take you by surprise? Are they not your favorites? Have you worn them more frequently since you've got all the compliments about them? I'd love to hear all about it, so please let me know in the comments section. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.